Welcome everyone. Christine Marie Odell here. I am your Divine Detox Goddess and a Divine Detox Specialist. And so I just want to warmly welcome you. I am so happy that you are here listening because I am going to tell my detox story today. It has been a divine healing journey that I've been on for about 4 years. And so I wanted to share a little bit about that today. And so what I'm going to do is I have written an ebook that is called the Divine Detox Diet Guide. And I'm going to refer to that a little bit today because in that I do tell my story and I do tell why you would want to do a detox, particularly if you are suffering from any kind of health challenges. Then you might be inspired by the journey that I've been on. So let me tell you a little bit about that. I have my ebook in front of me, and so I'm going to be referring to that a little bit, and I'm going to actually go way back to my childhood because I was always Christine, the sickly victim. When I was very young, I was always complaining about being tired and not feeling well. And I'm talking about a pretty young age, maybe about 8 or so, where I was just not feeling well. And I was trying to tell the adults and the doctors in my life that something wasn't right. I just knew something wasn't right. And so, of course, I was put through all kinds of tests and all kinds of, just ridiculous things that did nothing, told nothing, didn't heal anything or help anything. And this continued through my teen years, where they thought I was anemic, they thought that I had mono, they thought I had all these different kinds of things that were making me tired and that I just needed to go to bed and rest or take some antibiotics or whatever. That didn't work. So fast forward into my 20s. I'm out in the world, I'm an adult, and I still don't feel very well. Now I've got chronic fatigue, I've got fibromyalgia and just, muscles that were just sore and achy and screaming all the time. It was hard for me to work because I couldn't either sit still or stand still for any period of time. And then I started to get all kinds of other symptoms like sleep disturbances, anxiety, depression. I had interstitial cystitis, which is a very, very painful and uncomfortable challenge. And I had all kinds of things that were popping up, like tinnitus and vertigo and just things that I couldn't figure out, like what the heck is happening to me. So again, I turned to the medical system. What is wrong with me? And so test after test after test. Why do I have digestive problems? Well, you have irritable bowel syndrome. There's not much you can do about it, or take this medicine, and so just on and on. So I'm sure my story might sound familiar to you. I had adrenal fatigue, very, very bad. That is what I understand now. And that plus all of the acidosis and toxins, which I will talk about in just a moment, were making me very sick. And so in a moment I will share how and why I know now those were making me sick. So there you are, Christine, the sickly victim. I went all the way through my 20s, and then in my 30s and 40s, I just became Christine the health nut because I wanted to heal this and I had given up on any medical intervention. So then I started seeing holistic practitioners and naturopaths. I started doing yoga. I started doing energy work. I started taking all kinds of supplements and became a supplement junkie. You can probably relate to that as well, especially if you're toward my age. So Christine the health nut, who was viewed by most everybody as a nut. I was eating a very different kind of diet. I was living a very different kind of lifestyle. And so there you are. I was considered crazy. So fast forward into my 50s, I'm still trying with natural means to heal what has become very chronic, very depressing, very frustrating, and still getting no results. Now, around in my 40s, I actually became trained and became a health coach, a women's wellness coach. And when I did that, I did find some relief. I found some ways to manage what was going on, because by that time, the word fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, anxiety, depression, those were all things that were really coming to light. And so I was meeting many, many women who were having issues similar to mine. And so I wanted to help them. So I became a health coach, a wellness coach, and I began to help others. Now, that helped some. It helped me, it helped them some, but it still wasn't the whole picture. It still wasn't the whole answer. So what I finally found when I was in my very late 50s, I am 63 now, by the time I was 60, I found Dr. Robert Morse. And I realized that his program, his detox protocols, his diet of all fruits and vegetables, his herbal formulas were really worth a try for me. It seemed like such a wonderful system, and it was very different than all those other things I'd tried. And believe me, I tried them all, and you probably have too. So here's what I did. I became a detox pro. In other words, I became a detox specialist. And I did this through my own training and learning, because I wanted to help myself. So I did that first. I went and I took the training, the level 1 training, and then about 6 months later, I took the level 2 training, and that training trains you to become also an iridologist so that you can read people's eyes. Once I had my own eyes read and realized how much lymphatic congestion I had in my body, in my head, in my digestive system, and in my endocrine system, I learned that my endocrine system was part of this whole suffering that I had been going through my entire life. Now we're talking about decades, where I tried to heal myself and I could not find any way to do that. So what I discovered was Dr. Robert Morse's detoxification and regeneration philosophy. So I want to share a little bit about that, because that will tell you how I did it and how you can do it too. So, cellular detoxification and regeneration for healing. What is that all about? In order to create radiant health, optimal health, a vibrant life, we need to go to the cellular level. We need to detoxify cells, tissues, glands, organs, and body systems, and regenerate them. And that can only be done through a fruit and vegetable diet and herbal formulas. Now I say and herbal formulas because they're very important. You can try going on all fruits and vegetables, or even all fruits or high fruit or fruit juices or juice cleanses. That will help. But for most of us, especially those of us that are older, and we've gone through this lifetime, this frustrating lifetime of trying to figure out what's going on and not realizing that we have been full of toxins, full of mucus, and that we have an acidic body, that is why we are not healing. That is what the herbal formulas help, and they helped me tremendously, because there's just no way in the times that we're living in to regenerate cells without them. Or at least that's Dr. Morse's belief and my belief, and the belief of many of the detox specialists that he has trained. So, I want to talk about the body's acid alkaline dance. So in my book, I talk about either foods are acid forming or foods are alkaline forming. What does that mean? When you eat something, it either creates an acid ash in your body or an alkaline ash. The more acid ash you create in your body, the more you're going to have what we call acidosis, or a congestion of your lymphatic system throughout your body. And when that happens, that is what creates disease and illness. And until you can begin to move all of that out of your body, you're going to just keep accumulating the acids that are making you sick at the cellular level, the tissue level, the gland level, and all of your body systems. So when this inner biological terrain is all clogged up with acids and mucus, you're going to be sick. You're going to start discovering that you have all kinds of illnesses. You're not going to be well. So what we do when we follow Dr. Robert Morse and his teachings and philosophy is we work on opening up and healing our kidneys so that we can filter the lymphatic fluids that should be carrying all the debris that's making us sick out of our bodies. Now, there's another thing that I discovered after doing this for a couple of years that is really important, and is probably especially important for women. So if you can relate to what I'm talking about all of these different symptoms and syndromes and illness and all of this chronic stuff that's going on, then you may have what I call endocrine system dysfunction. That means that your glands are not balanced, and this can include your adrenals, your thyroid, your parathyroid, even your pancreas. And when all of that's out of whack, you are just not going to be well. And no matter how much healthy food you eat, you're still going to be creating acidosis in your body. Why? Because particularly with the adrenals, there are corticosteroids that need to be properly produced. And if they are not, then they are not there to buffer the acids in your body. So the adrenals sit on top of the kidneys, and they're very important in your healing. So that is one of the things that I've really worked on, and that has helped me overcome the adrenal fatigue that I called chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, IBS, IC, sleep problems, anxiety, depression, just being jittery and ultra sensitive to everything. So in my journey, I went from all of this chronic stuff to, right now I'd say I'm at about a 90% healing from doing this program. I am still on my journey. I am still working on things, particularly I'm still working on the endocrine system. I'm still working on the kidneys and the adrenals to detox and strengthen them even more. And the more I do that, then the better and better that I'm healing. So I want to encourage you by giving you a little bit of an overview of what I actually did. I've told you the whole story from childhood all the way up until now. And again, I'm 63, and I feel like I'm getting better than I've ever been in my entire life. My outlook is better. My emotions are clearing. I have gone on a deep, deep spiritual journey, particularly what I call a divine feminine journey, where I have really embraced my feminine power and really worked on my feminine empowerment. That has helped a lot. And so that has been in conjunction with what I've done with my diet and with the herbs. So I know you're all curious about how did I do this with my diet? Okay, I did what I call a jump off the cliff start when I started all this. And what I mean by that is I dove right into eating raw fruits and vegetables. I had been on a diet where I was not eating hardly any fruit because I was on what was called an anti-candidiasis diet. And so you might relate to that as well if you have candida or candidiasis and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I've been doing the same thing, Christine. So you've been eating this diet that's got, meat and dairy, and you're trying to get the high proteins in, and you're trying not to eat too many carbs, and you're trying not to eat the fruit because the sugar's too high. Well, I threw that all out and dove right into this program. What I didn't realize was that I did it too fast, and I needed to make a very slow, safe, and sensible transition. That is what I recommend for you, unless you have something very acute and life-threatening. And if you do, please either call Dr. Morse's clinic or get in touch with a detox specialist to help you with a plan. Because if you have something that is life-threatening, you will need a very specific protocol. I wouldn't play around with this program by yourself. Try to get some help. For those of you who are chronic and you just need to get going on this program, the slow transition by eliminating the things that you know are acid forming and are not part of a detox diet, and then incorporating things that are. So of course you're going to eliminate the meat, the dairy, all the processed foods, the sugar, the flour, the beans, the nuts, anything that is going to be hard to digest and that is not going to contribute to detoxification. So what does contribute to detoxification? As much fruit as you can possibly eat. The more astringent, the better. And by that I mean grapes, citrus, melons, berries, mangoes, papayas. Those are all very good detox fruits. Vegetables are okay. Salads are okay. Even cooked vegetables when you are transitioning. Steamed vegetables that are not starchy vegetables, like no potatoes or sweet potatoes or squashes or peas or those kinds of things. Those are not detox foods, but some of you may need to use some of those foods and vegetables and cooked vegetables to get you through a transition, particularly if you've been eating what we call the SAD diet, the standard American diet, or the diet where you are just eating all kinds of junk. So you want to do this very, very slowly. And so I kind of had to go back and start again and go through this slow, safe, and sensible transition into a detox diet. And once I got going on that, I did that for probably close to 6 to 12 months. And then I began to really transition into more and more fruit, so that I began to do fruit cleanses and juice cleanses and dry fasting, where you don't eat anything for maybe 12 to 24 hours from time to time, like once a week. And I also got to a point where I was using the herbal formulas in a full herbal protocol that I was helped with by my own detox specialist. And all of those things began to help me get better and better. And the better you get, the more enthusiastic you become about a detoxification lifestyle and this kind of healthy eating and living. So what I ended up doing was beginning to just kind of balance everything out by sometimes I'm on a fruit and vegetable diet because I'm much healthier now. Sometimes I'm on an all-fruit diet, but most of the time I'm on about 80% fruits and juices and about 20% veggies, including salads and vegetables. What I do right now is I drink 32 ounces of what I call my Sunny Citrus Delight. Many of you have seen me with my glass of juice, and I've given that recipe out for free. That is a blend of citrus. I do use a little bit of celery juice in the morning as well. At lunchtime, I either eat 1 or 2 fruits, or I have a fruit smoothie, usually a banana and blueberry smoothie. That's one of my favorites. When it's summertime and I can get grapes and I can get watermelon, I might be eating that throughout the day rather than the smoothies. Then for dinner, it depends on whether I'm on a fruit cleanse or a juice cleanse. So dinner might be another smoothie or more fruit or it might be juices if I'm on a juice cleanse. Then sometimes I do just kind of transition back into using some salads and some veggies in the evening, and that just depends on where I am and what my goals are at the current time. So if you want to know what I eat in a day, that's basically it. And it's not always exactly the same. It depends on where I am on my detox and healing journey. So that's kind of an overview of my story, this absolutely divine healing journey that I've been on. And as most of you know now, I do help others, particularly women, through this detox and healing journey and all of its challenges and its frustrations. And so I want to make an invitation to you. And that invitation is, I am so passionate now. I am so passionate about this detoxification and regeneration journey that I want to help you, and I have some ways that I can do that. So if you are wanting to embark on this journey and you want someone to take your hand and walk down that path with you, I would be just honored and delighted to talk with you about the possibilities of doing that with me. And so I'm going to just share 2 ways that I can do that. The first one is very inexpensive. I have a women's detox membership that you can join for a monthly fee, and in that detox membership is everything you need to heal. It has my Divine Detox Diet Guide that I just talked about and I was referring to here, that I've written with an entire detox plan founded on Dr. Morse's teachings. In the membership website, there's all kinds of wonderful content and a step-by-step system that you can go through no matter what stage you're at right now in your detox. And there's also a Facebook group for that where women can come and hang out together and just be a wonderful collective of women who are working on this journey and want to walk it together. So that's my Divine Detox membership for women. And so you can private message me or contact me and ask me about that, and I will give you more information. I also do detox consultations and coaching. That's private one-on-one work that I do with women, and you can get 1 consultation and session with me where I do iridology. I read your eyes, I have you fill out a health assessment, and then I do a health evaluation and an eye reading for you, and then we meet for an hour over the phone or Skype or Zoom or whatever works for you, and we talk about a plan for you, and then I write an herbal protocol for you and a diet protocol for you and just help you get started. I also have packages where you can get all of that, plus you can get some more coaching sessions with me, and I can help you on a longer term basis, 1 month or 2 months. So that is kind of an overview of my offerings and my services, so I invite you to those if those resonate with you. Otherwise, I'm always on Facebook and YouTube, and so you can find more videos, you can find more posts, you can find all kinds of free information that I put out there on a daily basis to help you. So I hope that that's a little bit of inspiration for you on your detox and healing journey, because I want you to know that yes, you can heal. And I will be honest, it takes tremendous commitment. It takes an ability to stand strong in your beliefs about doing this program, and to also dig deep to a place where you can cultivate a deep belief and love in yourself that you can do this, that you will do this, that you will heal. Believe in miracles, believe in possibilities, because for me, I suffered for decades, but now I can tell my story of suffering to success, and I want that for you too. So please be in touch. Don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm always here for you. I love you, and I have much compassion for you on your detox and healing journey. So again, Christine Odell here. I am so happy that you have listened to my story. I thank you. I'm honored. And I want to send you all my love and compassion and hope for your healing. Thank you, and namaste.